Hi YouTube, welcome to another episode. I'm going to look a little bit more at the digital minimalism and what I've learnt so far. So I've been learning a little bit more about financial independence and that aspect of a community of people, and been fascinating taking this journey because well, I suppose for myself, it does talk about a number of other cross paths and other resources, I suppose. I talked about a book from Arnold Bennett that's called How to Live on 24 Hours a Day. And that looks at, again, your 8 hours of work and then how you choose to spend the other hours. You know, you've got your downtime, and do you just sit in front of the TV? Do you go to the gym and work out? Is there a greater goal in mind? A lot of what, I guess, the recurring elements, it does talk about how spending that downtime impacts, again, on your future, on my future. And if all we're going to do is sit and scroll on our phone or do something that's, I guess, mindless, and that's fine to some degree, but it's having that control. As I think I've mentioned before, I got rid of TikTok. I got into it for a little while, enjoyed watching them, but I found like I'd start at say 5 o'clock in the afternoon and blink and it's now like 7, 8 o'clock and it feels like I've only just watched 3 clips. It wasn't true, and I found that this tunnel, time travel per se, chewed up a lot of my life, and that I found was not healthy. So for me, I just got rid of it because I wasn't attached to it, and I found that, you know, since not having it, I don't fall into that trap, I suppose, of mindless just sitting and watching. The same can be done through Facebook, Instagram. They're all much the same in their design, and that's talked about in the book. But I found personally TikTok, all those clips are designed for quick consumption, I suppose, and that's why they grab your attention, because each clip is ramped up high. The problem becomes is you set an expectation of your attention span, and so then when you actually have to sit and listen for something longer, like one of my videos for instance, or something even longer again, you tune out because you've become accustomed to this instant, snappy information overload almost. So you've changed your ability to even to read a book, and that's something that, again, I've had to retune and work on. Is it's boring, and often I get reading and my brain starts going, this is boring, but you've got to move past that. You've got to keep reading, you've got to keep stretching it, because I have actually hurt myself by, you know, allowing these technologies to come in and, I guess, control my life as such. And I think that in itself is a much bigger concern moving forward. People are so worried that like AI and robots are going to take over, and to some degree I think they already have, because when we fall into these I suppose traps of time where we depart Earth as such mentally, and we're off in this virtual hyperspace, whether it be a Facebook continuum, whether it be an Instagram continuum, that's not the point. You're no longer present in the now. And I find that like what a lot of them talk about in this is finding times to leave your phone at home. There's plenty of opportunities and there's plenty of times. And I suppose that's wind the clock back. For those that didn't live in the 90s, you know, you didn't have technology on you all the time. And I think today we make all these excuses for why we need to have that on us all the time. And that becomes almost to our detriment, because our ability to be contacted all the time, in Australia just recently, there's been a big push from like our government to making a no call, no contact from work, because managers and bosses have taken sort of control of some degree of everyone being contactable in this modern day. So I think to some degree technology is already winning, and the robots have already sort of taken over, and it's up to you as the holder of your own life. Are you going to continue to allow the tech to control you, aka the robots take your control, or are you going to, whilst you have a chance to, recalibrate, work out what matters? Like I say, the book itself's not against technology. It's not against us having these great tools at our disposal. What it's against is falling into these mind-numbing traps, and it's no different with the TV. So it's been around for such a long period of time where we just plonk ourselves in front of it and we just fall into a time warp, and it wastes our life away doing something that achieves nothing. Because think about the value that the TV show or whatever it is, you got to assess and go, is it worth the cost of the time? And when you think about what you get paid per hour, for instance, you monetize it, and think about if you're going to sit and watch an hour TV show, that is potential X figure you've just not achieved because you've just sat and watched something. You've spent that essentially out of your time bucket, and you'll never get it back. And that's why, as much as people say time is money, money is time, and they talk about it in this book, that in itself is a little bit of a throwaway, I guess. It's viewing your time as the most valuable resource, and I think that that's where a lot of people, they don't give it the weight it needs and go, I'm actually going to make a change. And that's something that I've personally tried to do, is find what am I going to do to make the changes that I need to achieve the life that I want to live. Because I've said it before, at the end of the day, you sitting in a retirement village, in a retirement home, possibly even on a park bench by yourself as an old person, almost nearing the end of life sort of thing. Are you going to look back with regret or resentment? And are you going to go, I wish I had have, or I'm glad I had? The biggest problem is your fear of failure. And I'll talk about it more in future videos, but that is our biggest fear, is the fear of failure. What if? And the reality is no one else is watching your game. So if you fail in your game, majority of people are not bothered by it. They're not going to laugh at you. Either what you choose to do from that, whether you rise up and move on and grow from it, or whether you let it create an element of depression and beat yourself up over because you deserve better, you should have done better, you could have, should have, would have. That's the choices that we live with. So I impart to you today to think about what in your life needs reassessing. Where are your, I guess, time financial leak points? Where are you wasting time, valuable time that you only have limited lifespan? Where can you tune yourself to improve, to make it so that when you're at that other end, you're not looking back with resentment and hatred towards decisions you made, or regrets that you didn't do things you wish you had have done. But instead you can look back and go, I'm glad I tried that, I'm glad I did that, I'm glad I, thought about this, or I spent my money here, or whatever be the scenario. So I impart that to you, have a think about it, start writing some things down. Journaling is fantastic for that. It gives you the ability to chuck all your thoughts on the page and map out a way forward. So that's all I got for you today. Have a fantastic day, and you'll see me in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.